The events take us to the city of London on January 16th. Officer George was on his weekly shift at the police station. He was accompanied by a group of policemen on that cold night. The cold weather added a sense of tranquility to the place, but the calm didn't last long. At around 11:30, a woman called for help, stating that an unknown assailant attacked her apartment while she was with her husband, who was severely injured. Officer George rose to the occasion, requesting some policemen to accompany him to the woman's house. The place wasn't far, and within minutes, the police car stopped at the building's entrance. The policemen hurried to the apartment on the 3rd floor, hoping to assist the injured man, but they found that he had already passed away. He was lying next to the bed in the bedroom, soaked in his own blood. In the apartment, there was a woman who had also been injured in her hand. The officer requested an ambulance to transport the woman to the hospital, but she surprised him by refusing and preferring to wait until morning to go to a private clinic. Officer George, known for his patience and discretion, saw no issue with her decision to stay home as long as she didn't want to go to the hospital. She seemed to have tended to her wound herself. The officer asked for her identity and she handed him her national ID card. Her name was Anna Jackson, and she claimed to be the wife of the deceased, William White. Officer George inquired about what happened. She recounted being asleep with her husband when they felt someone entering the apartment. She tried to wake her husband, but before he fully woke up, a strong man entered the room with a knife, demanding her jewelry. She told him she had none, but he insisted and went to the wardrobe. At that moment, her husband lunged at the attacker, but he was stabbed and collapsed unconscious. Instructions were given to request a coroner's van and to move the deceased's body to the morgue. After the body was transported, the officer asked Anna to accompany them to the hospital, but she insisted on waiting until the investigation was done so she could retrieve her apartment key to return home after treating her wound. During the investigation, Officer George noticed that the assault occurred in the bedroom, with no signs of the attack in the other rooms. The bedding was stained with blood. Upon lifting the mattress, they found a pair of black trousers not belonging to the deceased. In the pockets, they found some cash and a small key, not the key to the apartment. Anna explained that the trousers belonged to her husband. The officer decided to suspend the investigation until morning. He informed Anna that she would have to come to the police station to give her statement in a legal report after treating her wound. On the way to the police station, accompanied by a police officer and the seized items, they passed by the morgue where the forensic doctor confirmed the cause of death to be a stab wound to the heart around 10 p.m. George received the deceased's clothes, which were blood-stained. He noticed that the trousers didn't match the measurements of the trousers found under the victim's bed. To dispel doubts, he asked the doctor to measure the victim's belt. It was significantly smaller than the belt found with the black trousers. In the victim's shirt pocket, George found a train ticket. At the police station, the chief police officer awaited George to be briefed on the findings. The seized items were handed over, and a preliminary report was presented. It was decided to widen the investigation to gather more information about the deceased and his wife. Statements were recorded from Anna's neighbor, who lived on the same floor, mentioning Anna's questionable morality and her habit of entertaining strangers while her husband was away. Another statement was taken from the building's security guard, who reported seeing a man leaving the building wearing only boxer shorts around the time of the crime. He tried to chase him but failed. The investigators decided it was now necessary to thoroughly interrogate Anna Jackson to uncover more clues about the crime. It was agreed that she would be given the opportunity to speak freely in hopes of finding more information to solve the mystery. Anna returned from the clinic after treating her wound, and the investigators were waiting for her at the police station. She claimed her husband returned home around 6:30 p.m. after being away for 3 days. After dinner, they went to bed around 9:30 p.m. She said they were both asleep when she sensed someone in the apartment. She tried to wake her husband, but he didn't wake up quickly enough. By then, the man was already in the bedroom. Anna's story remained consistent, concluding with her husband attempting to fight the man and receiving a fatal stab wound. Apart from listening to Anna's statement, the building and its surroundings were placed under surveillance. At 10 a.m., security guards caught a man trying to open a car parked near the residential complex. The man was muscular and had a bandage on his right hand. He claimed the car was his and he lost the key, so he was trying to open it. The guards reported the incident, and it was agreed to tow the car to the police station to inspect it. If it turned out to belong to the man, he would be released. The investigators tried to open the car using the key found in the black trousers pocket, which was discovered under the victim's bed, and the door opened. Inside the car, documents indicated it belonged to the man named James Robinson. James tried to play it off with humor, saying the police had keys to everything, but he became a suspect and was taken in for interrogation. He claimed he regularly parked his car in the area because it was safer. He was asked about the injury on his right hand, to which he said it was from a broken bottle. However, after examination, it was found to be a deep wound from a sharp object. The investigators concluded that James Robinson was in Anna Jackson's apartment, and the black trousers belonged to him. The key found in the trouser pocket was for his car. With no other choice, both Anna Jackson and James Robinson confessed. Anna admitted to having a romantic relationship with James Robinson, and when her husband unexpectedly returned home, she panicked and grabbed a knife from the kitchen. She claimed her husband tried to kill her, resulting in her injuring herself. In the struggle between her husband and her lover managed to stab her husband, leading to his death. The investigators returned with Anna to her apartment, where she showed them where she hid the knife. With the evidence and confessions, the case was closed. The knife had blood traces and fingerprints belonging to the victim, his wife, and her lover.